All right, welcome back, everyone. We're diving into Manchester United versus Chelsea from November 3rd, 2024.
Big game.
Huge GE implications. This wasn't just any match, right? I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy stepping in as interim manager for Manchester United.
Yeah, big shoes to fill.
Talk about a trial by fire after Erik Ten Hag's departure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What a way to kick things off.
Definitely a baptism by fire. You've got Manchester United, a club obviously desperate to reclaim its glory days, and they're facing Chelsea, who are looking seriously revitalized under Pochettino. So this match wasn't just about 3 points. It was a clash of ambitions, a real statement game for both sides.
And did it deliver? We're talking edge-of-your-seat option, a dramatic comeback, and a final draw that leaves everyone wondering what's next for both these teams. So buckle up, because we're going to unpack all the twists and turns. But first, let's rewind to that pre-match buzz.
Oh, yeah.
You could practically feel the electricity in the air, couldn't you?
Absolutely. All eyes were on Van Nistelrooy. Everyone was trying to figure out how he'd approach this match, especially compared to Ten Hag's tactics. You know, would he stick with the familiar, or would he throw a curveball? And over on the Chelsea side, the big question was, how would they exploit any cracks in United's game plan?
Right.
There were so many tactical questions swirling around.
Yeah.
It felt like a chess match before a single ball was kicked.
It really did. And let's not forget the players themselves. You had Rashford, Fernandes, Ojlund, all ready to make their mark for United. And on the other side, Chelsea had Sterling, Enzo Fernandez, and Jackson ready to cause some serious trouble. I don't know about you. I was practically glued to my seat from the first whistle.
Oh, yeah, me too. The midfield battle, particularly fascinating. Casemiro for United versus Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea.
Ooh.
Both are known for dictating the pace, breaking up plays, really controlling the flow of the game.
Right.
It was a matchup of tactical intelligence and sheer determination.
Yeah. Speaking of a battle of wills, that first half was tense. Chelsea came out strong, putting pressure on United's defense early on. Remember that chance Sterling had? About 10 minutes in?
Oh, yeah.
They were clearly targeting United's left flank, trying to isolate Sterling against Ellie. I thought for sure that was going in.
They were exploiting the space. Left by United's attacking fullbacks, it was a classic Pochettino tactic. Quick transitions, using pace and precision to create those dangerous opportunities.
But Manchester United weren't about to roll over, were they?
No, no.
Fernandes and Ojlund were working hard to create openings, and there was a real sense of determination in their play. You could just hear that Old Trafford roar, that anticipation hanging in the air. You know it's a big match when even I'm feeling nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm not even on the pitch.
Oh, I know. That atmosphere was electric. It was a real back and forth, with both teams feeling each other out, looking for that one moment of brilliance to break the deadlock. Neither side wanted to give an inch, and the tension was palpable.
So we head into halftime. 0-0, but with the feeling that the second half could explode.
Hot.
At any moment. Now, before we jump into that, I want to ask you, what were your biggest takeaways from that first half? Were there any tactical adjustments you think either manager could have made?
Well,
What would you have done if you were in Van Nistelrooy's shoes?
Well, for me, the key takeaway was that midfield battle. It was like a chess match between Casemiro and Enzo Fernandez. Whoever could control that space in the second half was likely going to dictate the flow of the game.
And wouldn't you know it? The second half kicks off.
Yeah.
And things immediately heat up. Chelsea come out firing on all cylinders, and just 15 minutes in, they break the deadlock. That counterattack was something else. Sterling slices through United's defense like a hot knife through butter, finds Jackson with the perfect pass, and boom, goal. What a play.
It was textbook Chelsea under Pochettino. They were waiting for United to overcommit an attack, and then bang, they hit them on the break. Sterling's speed and decision-making were spot on, and Jackson's finish was clinical. You could feel the air go out of Old Trafford for a moment there.
It was like someone hit the mute button on the entire stadium. But let me tell you, Manchester United weren't going down without a fight. The crowd could sense it, Van Nistelrooy could sense it, and the players definitely could sense it.
There's a real shift in their mentality after that goal. They started playing with more urgency, more purpose. Van Nistelrooy made a couple of key substitutions, bringing on Sancho for Dalot and Fred for McTominay. It was a gamble, pushing for a more attacking formation, but it paid off.
Those substitutions were crucial. Fred injected some much-needed energy into the midfield, and Sancho's pace on the left flank started to cause problems for Chelsea's defense. And then, with about 15 minutes left on the clock, we saw that moment of magic from Rashford.
That assist was pure class. He dances past Reece James' cuts inside and delivers a pinpoint cross right onto Højlund's head. Talk about a perfect delivery.
And Højlund, who'd been working his socks off all game, doesn't miss. The ball hits the back of the net, and Old Trafford erupts. It was 1-1, and suddenly the momentum had completely shifted.
That goal was a testament to Van Nistelrooy's tactical awareness. Bringing on Sancho and Fred changed the dynamic of the game, and Rashford's individual brilliance provided the spark they needed to get back in it.
It was a real roller coaster of emotions, wasn't it? One minute you're thinking, well, that's it. Chelsea have got this. And the next minute, Manchester United are right back in the game. I was on the edge of my seat.
Me too.
Yeah.
And in the end, despite a few more nervy moments for both sides, the match finished 1-1, a draw. But it felt like so much more than that, didn't it?
It absolutely did. It was a match that had everything: tactical battles, individual brilliance, a comeback, and a whole lot of drama. But what does it all mean for these two teams?
Well, for Chelsea, it's a point gained on the road. But they'll be wondering if they could have held on for the win. They showed their attacking prowess, but maybe there are still some questions about their defensive solidity.
And for Manchester United, I think it's a positive start under Van Nistelrooy. He showed he's not afraid to make bold decisions, and the team responded well to his changes. But can they build on this performance? That's the big question.
Absolutely. This draw feels like a missed opportunity for both sides. Chelsea had United on the ropes, but Van Nistelrooy's substitutions, particularly bringing on Fred, shifted the momentum. This suggests he's willing to be tactically flexible, which could be key for United's revival. They showed they can compete with the best, but they still need to find that consistency if they want to challenge for trophies this season.
So we've talked about the match itself, the key moments, the tactical decisions, but let's zoom out for a second. This match wasn't just about the 90 minutes on the pitch, was it? It was about narratives, about expectations, about two clubs trying to find their place in the ever-changing landscape of the Premier League. What are your thoughts on that?
It's fascinating, isn't it? You have Manchester United, this giant of English football, trying to recapture their former glory, and Chelsea, who are building a new identity under Pochettino, aiming to establish themselves as a dominant force. This draw, in a way, just adds another layer of intrigue to their stories.
It's like we're watching two epic tales unfold right before our eyes. And this match was just one chapter in a much larger saga.
Exactly. And what's even more interesting is the impact of the managers. Van Nistelrooy, coming in as interim, has injected a sense of urgency, a renewed fighting spirit into Manchester United. And Pochettino, with his tactical nous and his ability to get the best out of his players, is transforming Chelsea into a real threat.
So we've unpacked the match, analyzed the tactics, and explored the broader narratives. But what about you? What stood out to you the most in this clash of titans? What surprised you? What did you learn?
Well, for me, it was the way Van Nistelrooy handled the pressure. He came into a difficult situation, facing a top four rival in his first match in charge. But he didn't shy away from making tough decisions. He showed a real tactical flexibility, and that could be a game changer for Manchester United moving forward.
I completely agree. He wasn't afraid to shake things up. And ultimately, those substitutions made a real difference. It's still early days, but there's a sense of optimism around Old Trafford again.
And on the Chelsea side, I was impressed by their attacking fluidity. The way Sterling, Jackson, and Mount combined was a joy to watch. But they also showed a bit of vulnerability at the back, which United were able to exploit. It'll be interesting to see how Pochettino addresses that moving forward.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking question. What does this draw mean for the future of both Manchester United and Chelsea?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this rivalry is far from over.
Yeah, it really feels like we're at a crossroads for both these clubs. Manchester United searching for that spark to reignite their season, and Chelsea building momentum under their new manager.
Yeah. And what's exciting is that this match could be a turning point for both sides.
Right.
For Manchester United, it's a sign that maybe they've turned a corner. Van Nistelrooy's tactical decisions, that fighting spirit we saw in the second half, it suggests they're not going down without a fight.
Exactly. Remember that feeling when Højlund scored that equalizer?
Oh, yeah.
That roar from the crowd. It felt like the whole stadium was willing them to victory.
It was electric. And you could see what it meant to the players, too. That's the kind of energy that can carry a team forward. And for Chelsea, it's a reminder that even though they're playing well, there's still room for improvement.
Especially in defense. They looked a bit shaky at times. And if they want to challenge for the title, they'll need to tighten things up at the back.
Absolutely. They've got the attacking firepower to trouble any team in the league. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Imagine Van Nistelrooy building on this performance, guiding Manchester United back to the top of the table.
Oh, wow.
And picture Pochettino's Chelsea firing on all cylinders, going toe-to-toe with the best in Europe.
Now, that's a season I'd love to see. This match was just a taste of what these two clubs are capable of. And I can't wait to see what unfolds in the weeks and months to come.
Me neither. It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure. And we'll be here with you every step of the way, analyzing the tactics, breaking down the key moments, and diving deep into the stories that make football so captivating.
So until next time, keep your eyes on the pitch. And remember, it's not just about the wins and losses. It's about the passion, the drama, the moments of brilliance that make this sport the beautiful game.